sure how the layoff would impact you. It could work either way. You obviously looked like you were pretty sharp tonight. How did that feel to you?
Yeah, so I felt really good real early. I mean, just playing catch in the outfield and then getting on the mound, the warm-up mound. My delivery felt really good. I mean, especially my windup. I got to the third there, got into some trouble there out of the stretch. You know, that was something I was a little worried about. You know, it's because I had felt really good out of my windup. I felt like I was making really good pitches out of my windup, and I got a run arm guard there, did a good job. Guardy did a good job right there, you know, on the heater up and away, sent it the other way, and so he's on base, and you know, I found myself pretty frustrated with myself and where I was out of the stretch, but all in all, I felt like I was able to make some good pitches. I felt pretty good physically.
Charlie, do you think that third inning kind of limiting the damage there was kind of the biggest moment of your outing and possibly the game there?
Yeah, I mean, surely it was crucial. You know, there were a lot of big moments. Like I think getting to Tanaka, that's, you know, if I can limit them through, you know, a few innings there and they can put some runs up on the board, there's just giant momentum shift, and then that kind of is you know, it's really difficult to you know, to get through five and, you know, and be down by quite a few runs. I mean, that's just, especially against our bullpen. And you know that our offense isn't going to let up. It's just not an enviable position. So, that was huge. I think any time early on, you know, starter can just limit the damage, you know, a run or two, and the offense can get into a groove. I mean, it's a great recipe. But yeah, I would say getting Boyd out there, and that ground ball in the third, you know, limiting the damage, that was a big deal.
Charlie, you got to witness kind of Springer's, you know, barrage there in 2017. What Randy's doing is something similar to that. I mean, it seems pretty remarkable what he's been able to do at the plate over the last 3 games, the last week, really.
I mean, I've never seen anything like this. So, I mean, this is something, yeah, I don't know. It's something that I've really never seen before. You know, honestly, there are no words to describe it. It's incredible. Yeah, I'm sorry. I got nothing for you.
Good, thank you.
Charlie, you, Tyler, and Blake have all gone 5 innings the first 3 games. I know starters want to go as deep as they can in games, but with this bullpen, is this almost a perfect kind of formula with the guys you got behind you?
Well, when I signed with the Rays, that was actually part of the initial discussion. It was part of the initial, you know, the briefing there was, you know, hey, you know, we don't need you to go 7, 8 innings. Like we're built so that, you know, you give us 5 or 6 good ones and, you know, we'll take care of the rest. I mean, I don't know how I feel about that. You know, I like, well, coming up, it's like you want to go 7, 8. You want that complete game. I mean, I came up in the era of, you know, in what we're now seeing is probably the last generation of guys that were throwing complete games. Like, you know, you had your Chris Carpenter, Adam Wainwright, Roy Halladay, you know, those kinds of guys that were doing that. You know, I played with AJ Burnett. AJ's out there, you know, still throwing complete games at the end of his career. And it was just, that's what you grew up, came up wanting to do. And then you just see this evolution in the game. You know, it's like teams would rather have you go out and, you know, strike a bunch of guys out over 5 or 6 innings, you know, then I don't know, it's kind of sad to see, but it's like the guys that are, you know, consistently go out and give you 6, 7, 8 innings, 2 to 4 runs and they throw 200 innings a year, I think that's gone the way of the dodo bird. There's a few guys still that are carrying that torch, but that's just kind of how we were built. I mean, that's what I've experienced the past couple of years. I mean, I would love to, go out there and, have the opportunity to work in the 7th and 8th inning, but it's like you just have to be so efficient now. So, but I mean, it's such a nice feeling to know that if you are unable to work deeper into the game, the guys down there are just so good. They're such a fun group to watch. They're so talented. So it's pretty great to be part of this pitching staff.
Hey, Charlie, you probably know better than anybody else in the ball club how tough it is to get that last win in the series. For those who haven't been through such an experience and they may be feeling like the momentum is totally on your side right now, will you say anything given your leadership standing?
What can you repeat the last few words there?
Yeah, will you say anything given your leadership standing with the club?
Oh no, I very rarely say anything, to be honest with you. I don't think anything needs to be said. The guys are real loose. They're confident. They're in a good mood, and it's just not the kind of thing where I don't think anything needs to be said. I think this group is like the nicest guys, like good dudes, fun-loving, but they have a drive to win. They have a drive to be great. So that for nothing from me, I wouldn't, that even crossed my mind.
Anything final from Charlie?
Yeah, Charlie, from the pitch tracking data we have, it seemed like you threw a lot more cutters tonight than usual. Was that by design?
Yeah, it was. We fall into that trap. Because my curveball has been such a go-to pitch for me the past few years. I think guys get a little comfortable just sitting curveball. In this year, it just hasn't been as effective as it's been. And I mean, the Yankees have to be one of the better, more all-around pro hitting groups of guys. Like we're talking about some guys that have done it. They're seasoned, really talented, pretty dynamic. They're pretty squared away. So I mean, you have to, when you face a group like that, you have to do something different. I mean, you have to execute a little bit better. You also have to offer something a little bit different. I mean, they got, DJ LeMahieu steps in the box. It's like, that's a pro hitter right there. I mean, that guy's a ball player through and through. So right off the bat there, you got to deal with him. And I feel like that cutter, while it's not a wipeout pitch, it's just something to get them off my sinker and my curveball. I got a sinker that's running one way, and then I don't know where it was tonight. It looked like it was about 86 to 90, that little cutter. So it's got just enough on it and just enough cut right there to that delta between the horizontal movement. I think to give hitters a little bit of trouble, just get a little bit of soft contact. But that was definitely Mikey did a heck of a job back there today. That was phenomenal, and that was part of our game plan for sure.
Thank you, everyone, for your questions. Thanks, Chuck.